Bro, I want to ask here can rent motorbike
Yep.
I see from the video Farhan Trey here can rent motorbike and then he say can give discount
Yes,
if I say the promo code.
Yep. Correct.
I love Farhan Trey.
Yeah, sure.
So if I say the promo code I love Farhan Trey, I get 20% discount. If I come down and bring the man himself, I can get free or not?
Okay guys, once again back at Auto Exchange with my friend Hadi once again. I want to thank all the riders who have came here to rent their bikes with us using the promo code. Thank you so much, Hadi. This time we have another bike review with you guys, the Yamaha MT-15.
Yeah.
Hadi has a new deal for me. So just want to ask for the MT-15, popular right?
Yes, very popular for new riders.
I see. Those who especially just passed.
Yes, correct.
I see. So just now actually before Hadi came and meet me, he actually rented a bike to a rider who just passed
3 days ago.
3 days ago. I'm like, sialah. Then what is the requirement for those riders who just passed their bike for 3 days to rent the bike with Auto Exchange?
Normal standard requirement, IC, driving license. For those who just pass without driving license, you can just download the QDL.
I see.
Give me a screenshot will do. Also can show me from your SingPass if it's already updated. So it will show that you got 2B license already.
So this one can get from the traffic police website, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So being P-plate riders, right? Do you guys have any additional requirements like?
Yeah, you need to deposit 100 for P-plate riders.
I see. That's the only requirement.
Yes, correct. So if possible, bring your own P-plate. We try to provide, but sometimes we are out of P-plate. If that week, a lot of P-plate riders, right? So it's best to bring your own P-plate.
So what kind of Class 2B bikes you guys have for them, for these new Class 2B riders to test?
The most popular will be manual. CB190X Tourism, CB150R X Motion, FZS the version 3. We also have the old Gen 1 FZ16 MT-15, CB190TR. There's a lot of range that we have in Auto Exchange.
A lot of Class 2B bikes for you guys to play. Wow, so jealous, last time I Class 2B time, no opportunity to rent bike also. So Hadi, is the promo code still on?
Yeah, it's quite popular. A lot of people take up the promo code.
Wow. So in this case, are you going to extend or what?
Yeah, we're going to extend the promo code maybe up to August.
Oh.
Yeah.
So here guys, because response has been so good,
very overwhelming, very good.
Exchange and we decided to extend the promo code that you guys can use. You must come here to this desk and say to Hadi, I love Andre. Just like Zah did just now. We never really discussed this. What's your operating hours currently?
Monday to Friday, 9:30 to 5:30. So last collection of bike will be 5 PM. Saturday by appointment only. So you got to let me know if you want to collect the bike on Saturday, subject to availability.
I see. Is there a maximum number of days they must rent your bike?
Minimum 3 days.
Minimum 3 days.
Yes,
it's not
correct.
so bad actually.
So we don't operate on Sunday. So a lot of question I received that can I collect on Sunday? Can I collect at 9 PM? No guys, sorry. We only operate these hours lah.
Okay lah guys, so Hadi has the MT-15 for me to try and we're gonna do a review on it lah.
So guys, another sponsored video by Auto Exchange. They've let me borrow this Yamaha MT-15, and for me personally, I've always wondered why the Yamaha MT-15 is a very popular motorcycle in Singapore. I've ridden it since yesterday and gonna give my full inputs as I'm riding on the road with it. Okay guys, so this is the riding review of the Yamaha MT-15. I know we already did this review with Rider Rasul. We reviewed his Yamaha MT-15, and do check that out for an owner's perspective. And this is from my own perspective, so I think I may be able to compare this with other bikes in general that I have ridden. Starting it up straightforward as with any typical motorcycle. Uses a key as opposed to a transponder. The weird thing is the starter is together with the kill switch. It's a really weird configuration right here. So I've ridden this bike for about 2 days now. This is the 3rd day with it, and I have to say that the Yamaha MT-15 is a really awesome bike. I must say, for a Class 2B, this particular bike that I'm riding is the 2020 model. Currently at the town area right now. So we're gonna see how the MT-15
handles in traffic. I'm gonna try my best to give you guys, you know, as I'm riding, I give my thoughts and opinions on it, and basically a live review of when I'm riding this bike lah. Okay, so the Yamaha MT-15, my first impressions of it, is a very talky bike. It's very nice to ride on. But let's first start with the design. So the Yamaha MT-15 for the 2020 version, it follows closely with the Yamaha MT-09, its bigger brother. And the design of the 2020 MT-15 really makes it part of the MT series. And the Yamaha MT series meaning Master of Torque. And this is official, MT means Master of Torque, because I think for my DRZ founded video, a few DRZ riders weren't happy with me that I said the acronym DRZ means Dakar Rally Zeta. So a lot of them actually flamed me for that, and I was pretty bothered by all of the nasty comments that I received. But then I quickly, you know, think about it and just get over it. Like, no point fixating on something that I couldn't control, right? Okay, so back to the review. The engine for the Yamaha MT-15 is shared together with the rest of Yamaha's 155cc bikes, basically the XXR 155, the Aerox, the NMAX, the WR 155, and also the Yamaha R15. And from the reviews online that I've read, right, the Yamaha R15 is actually very much related to the Yamaha MT-15. Some reviews even are calling it like the MT-15 is basically a naked version of the Yamaha R15, which is a sports-oriented motorcycle basically. In terms of engine configuration, right, even though they use the same engine, I think personally the engines for each model really differs from each other. Like, you know, the WR155 is built as a dirt bike, so being a dirt bike, you definitely need more torque. The Yamaha R15 is a sports bike, so it's sports oriented, so definitely speed is the key here. So the engine has been tuned specifically to the different variations of bike that Yamaha has manufactured despite using the same engine. And this from the reviews online that I've read, right, the engine is slightly detuned from the Yamaha R15, so that means it's a bit mellowed down. It's meant for street configuration. Okay, so this particular Yamaha MT-15 is actually made in Indonesia. As you can see, there's the warning labels is in Malay. The Yamaha MT-15 is actually available in most of the Southeast Asian countries, even Malaysia included. I think from what Zah has told me, the Yamaha MT-15 has just been brought into Malaysia. So I don't think touring and overlanding, you wouldn't have to worry in those countries basically. Because there is wide availability in Southeast Asia, there's a lot of aftermarket accessories with the Yamaha MT-15. So there's no shortage of, you know, customization that you can do with the Yamaha MT-15 Online, like even in Singaporean riders, they modify everything, you know, to make the MT-15 stand out from the rest. So yeah, it's something good about this bike You want to customize it easily, you know, just do it, man. Only thing that's stopping you is money basically. And the Yamaha MT-15 in Singapore, you know what, there's a lot of it on the road actually. You can see it almost everywhere. I mean, it's popular with all kinds of riders, young, old, experienced, P-plate. And I think it's a very popular P-plate bike. Oh, what's happening over there? Okay, anyway, it's a very popular P-plate bike, by the way. For me, my personal opinion, beginner riders wouldn't have an issue with this bike. This bike is very easy to handle. It goes where you want to go, it moves where you want to move, you know, wherever direction you point it to, it doesn't fight you. You can lean into the corners really comfortably with this bike. And yeah, you're handling tip-top, man, for the Yamaha MT-15. And speaking of weight, right, this bike is very light. But light to the point whereby it doesn't compromise on its you know, handling, or too light that, you know, if a gust of wind were to blow on you, it will lose control or something. No, it doesn't. Alright, so as you can see just now, city setting, no issues with that. You can control it in low speeds. I mean, I feel as if I'm in total control of the bike, not the bike is controlling me. As with the Kawasaki Z1000. Oh yeah, and speaking of Z1000, right, the Yamaha MT-15 is classified as a street fighter. So a street fighter is supposed to be road oriented. Yamaha designers and engineers, they've really taken into account the kind of situations that this bike is in. You know, usually in a city setting, in a start-stop situation, there is no problems with this bike. It's one of the best, probably the best handling bike I've ever ridden ever. And also I have to mention this, this is one of the torquiest Class 2B bikes that you can probably get in the market right now. And being a 2020 bike, it comes with the relevant technology such as ABS, digital cage cluster, LED lighting, fuel injection, and Yamaha has this for all of the 155cc series of bikes, which is called VAA. VAA is variable valve actuators, and yeah, when you're riding it, you can really feel low to mid-range torque is greatly improved on this Yamaha MT-15. When you want the acceleration, when you want the pickup, it's there at the throttle, you know. So I can say that this bike, if you are in a sticky situation, right, like the car is taking you away, I think you are able to get away. And you know, coupled with his awesome handling, like if there's a, you know, accident in front of you or something, ABS helps you, you know, it doesn't you know, jam brake, it doesn't lock up the wheels in an event of an emergency brake. With his awesome maneuverability and nimbleness, you know, you can definitely cut in between cars, go in between heavy traffic, even though the crank course very easily on this bike. Oh, that was me testing the bike's launch. Yeah, pretty good launch right there. I mean, for a Class 2B, I have to comment that this is damn good lah. And now I get why the Yamaha MT-15 is a very popular bike amongst beginner riders. So lots of accessories you can customize, you know, very fast pickup, very torquey, awesome handling. What more can you ask? I think that I can safely say this is the almost perfect, you know, Class 2B street fighter that you can get right now. Well, Orchard Road is really busy right now. I shouldn't have came in here, by the way. Actually, I went through a different route. So we're gonna go back to Orchard Road and go to CTE and give my feedback on how the Yamaha MT-15 performs in a highway setting. So I've checked it online on Carousel, on Facebook. With COE, the Yamaha MT-15 ranges from 14,000 to 15,000. And I must say that is a very high price lah. The price is quite steep. I'm not sure if those who just passed driving school, who want to get this bike, they can actually afford it. Maybe there's a second-hand market that they can look into. You know, with this bike, I see all kinds of riders riding it lah. I mean, veteran riders, young riders, old riders. It's very common lah, and especially amongst our food delivery riders. The food delivery riders, they love this bike, you know. Most of the time when I see the MT-15, there's always a GrabFood bike behind it. And this really shows lah the bike's popularity in Singapore lah. These Yamaha engineers have actually engineered this bike, you know, almost to perfection. And I must comment highly on this Yamaha MT-15 lah. I really couldn't find any faults on the Yamaha MT-15 other than its very steep price. And yeah, you 14k with COE, you are getting, you know, you are getting your money's worth with this bike. So the price is really justified lah, in my personal opinion. Alright, so right now is peak hour, testing it on the highway. Once again, city situations, start-stop traffic, this bike handles pretty well. It's not too hot. I mean, I'm sitting on the bike right now, and the engine isn't that hot at all. It's very cooling, even in start-stop situation, even when you're at a stoplight. And negotiating this bend, it takes in the corner very perfectly. You know, you're really in control of the bike. The indicators on the gauge cluster, it only shows a hazard, so it doesn't really show whether you're signaling left or right. It just shows that the indicators is on, and it doesn't even have a hazard light. So it's weird that they only have the indicator lights to show that you're actually using your indicators, as what I'm doing right now. It kind of it feels cheap that way, you know. In my personal opinion. Okay, since we're at the highway, we're gonna whack this bike a little bit. And you know those memes on the internet whereby, you know, for Honda, you know, VTEC kicked in when the low to mid-range torque kicks in, the gauge cluster actually shows VVA. That means VVA is activated. So it's like the Honda VTEC meme, you know. It's like VVA kicked in, Whoa! With the VVA kicked in, the pickup is tremendous on this Class 2B machine. And this VVA, the variable valve technology, is available on most of the, I think almost all of the Yamaha motorcycles, like the 155cc series of bikes. It helps with the acceleration, it helps with the low to mid-range torque. So it also improves its top speed. But for me, the top speed when I try it out, it's kind of disappointing. Like, it doesn't have a high top speed, maybe around 100 to 110, and that's all you get lah with this bike lah. But I mean, it's 155cc, so there's no reason for me, in my personal opinion, there's no reason for it to go even faster. I mean, 155cc, what do you expect? You know, you want faster, you get a Class 2A or you get a Class 2, simple. Or maybe you can even mod the bike, you know, put some aftermarket exhaust, you know, or mess up with the engine, maybe you can go even faster, I don't know. Speaking of engine, right, this has a nice mellow sounding engine. It doesn't have the oomph. If you want something more oomph, right, I think you should, you know, get the aftermarket exhaust. Like maybe those Accra exhaust, you know. Alright, we're gonna give it a bit of gas. Oh, VVA kicked in, yo! Oh, marvelous. Marvelous. The mid-range top on this is really amazing. Oh yeah, and let's talk about the this JSS trying to race with me or what? I'm just testing the bike, bro. Relax. Okay, I know you got a girl behind you. You want to show off. Okay, it's okay. Relax. I'm just testing the bike, bro. I'm not challenging you. Relax. Right to what I was saying. Oh yeah, the slipper clutch. The slipper clutch on this bike, is amazing. You know what? The slipper clutch actually is good, no? Because you know why? At a high gear, the bike is able to coast at low speeds. Like you're going 40 kilometers per hour like that, and you're at 6th gear. I mean, other bikes you probably feel jerky, you know. But the MT-15, it doesn't feel jerky at all. It feels kind of normal unless you are at 10 kilometers per hour or 20 kilometers per hour. That's when you start to get a little bit jerky, and then you before you feel like it's gonna stall anytime soon. So for other bikes, most of the bikes that I've ridden, the slipper clutch that doesn't have the slipper clutch, right? 40 at gear 6 is unimaginable. I think it's an awesome thing to have in each bike. And I think you can go touring with this bike, you know. The Yamaha MT-15 just came into Malaysia. It's already available in Thailand for a long time. And this is made in Indonesia. So you want to go touring, I think it shouldn't be an issue lah. It's an awesome bike, probably an awesome bike to go touring with. Probably stand by like, you know, side panniers or a motorcycle box behind if you want to go touring for more storage space. This is probably one of the few bikes where I cannot really find any bad thing on it lah. You know, I don't really have much issue with it. It's a very awesome bike. It's a well-engineered machine. I cannot really point out any bad things with the Yamaha MT-15. It's really an awesome bike for beginners and veteran riders alike. And look at this, at gear 6, you know, usually you're supposed to go 80 or 90 on gear 6, right? I'm at 60, man. And going down even more, you know, it still feels normal. It doesn't feel jerky. Okay, so guys, 5 days with the Yamaha MT-15. Wow, and in my personal opinion, I have to say, it's the best bike I've ever ridden. The best Class 2B bike I've ever ridden.
Yeah, I did give it a try, right? And I must say, it is very fun to ride.
Yeah, it's very fun to ride.
I initially I was like MT-15, you know,
Class 2B, 155cc.
Not only it is popular, but it's also fun to ride, and I understand why this bike is a lot on the road.
And you have to, looking at the, you know, design, it's a very nice design also. It's inspired by the MT-09.
Yeah. And then some more the feel. I mean, just now I ride
the handling, right?
The handling.
Shock, right?
Very light, very nimble.
Light.
I can do like figure 8,
pylon, sylon, everything.
And then some more the feel is like you are riding a Duke 200. The Duke KTM Duke.
The riding posture, right?
The riding posture.
I also feel the same way.
But not as aggressive as the Duke series, because the foot pegs are not like the Dukes are like bit behind.
Yes.
But this one is just nice, no?
I see. Symmetrical to the body lah.
Yes, it's not like the Duke where you have to actually go behind a bit.
In terms of the performance, it's very torquey. The torquiness is there.
Yes, I agree. I mean, for a 155cc, right? Its pickup, you can really feel some pickup. At first gear, at second gear, wow, you really can open some more. No?
You know, if I were to downgrade to a Class 2B, I would choose this bike. Seriously. This is the best. Now I know why it's very popular in Singapore. A lot of people are using this bike. I mean, I cannot find anything bad, about this Yamaha MT-15 now.
One thing I like, easily to find the spare parts.
Yes.
Every workshop you go, there's no problem of getting this repaired, because why? It's popular. There's a lot of it on the road. Its engine is also being used in some of other models of the Yamaha brand. And
I think the Apek bike shop also can do these bikes. Okay guys, so back at my favorite multi-story car park to give you guys my personal thoughts and opinions of the Yamaha MT-15. In conclusion, the design is quite aggressive, fun and modern and trendy at the same time. I mean, this design really shows the current bike design, the 2020s era especially. And it shares the elements with the Yamaha R15, including the chassis. But the MT-15 is more configured for urban riding, and the engine is shared with the rest of the Yamaha 155 series of bikes. But I think it's configured for different purposes, like the WR55 is for dirt, so I think it will need to be more torquey. And the MT-15 is more suited for urban riding. So urban riding, I think you don't really need that much of a top speed, but I think it has the performance. The performance is still there. Packed with technology such as VVA, variable valve timing, slipper catch, ABS, LED lighting, and digital gauge cluster. This is in line with 2020 era models. A great build quality from Yamaha. Looks premium, and this is what you expect from a reputable Japanese manufacturer like Yamaha, quality and reliability lah. Okay, so the pros for this bike is great handling, very nimble. I cannot stress this enough in my reviews. City riding, traffic jam, or even in the expressway, it handles really well for a Class 2B. Wherever you point it, it follows you. It doesn't fight you. You feel as if you're in total control of the bike. VVA, variable valve timing, helps with the total response and low to mid-range torque. Awesome on this bike for the Class 2B, honestly. You want to get away from sticky situations, you want to overtake someone, this would be an awesome bike to do it lah. For a Class 2B bike, I'm stressing this. Amongst all the bikes I've tested, the Yamaha MT-15 probably has the best torque. It has an awesome launch speed. Every time I test this bike on a junction, I test it out lah. I'm always the first. But being a Class 2B, of course, other bikes and other cars tend to beat me afterward. But launch speed, power, solid on this bike. Lightweight and compact design. It's lightweight, but it still grips on the asphalt. So this I think helps with the handling of the bike lah. And compact design. So to me, Class 2B bikes are supposed to be in a very small and compact size. I'm not really too fond of Class 2B bikes being big. It doesn't make sense. And nowadays, Class 2 bikes are getting smaller and smaller. And to me, the Yamaha MT-15, this really the size is really suited for its motorcycle class. A slipper clutch allows low speed at high gear without too much jerking, going at like low speeds, 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. The bike doesn't jerk, it doesn't stall. For other bikes, where at that speed at a high gear, you feel as if the bike is going to stall anytime soon. And this is good. I mean, you can be at a high gear, you're cruising down at 40 kilometers per hour. This is very suited for traffic jams and low speed situations, I feel. And very comfortable seating and posture. So the Yamaha MT-15, for me, I'm 165. I feel very comfortable on it. Although it's a bit too aggressive for me, but doesn't really hurt my back or anything. And I feel as if I can go long distance with it. This is the most important for me. Dealer support, local and overseas. So it's available in Malaysia, Thailand, and most of Southeast Asia. And this bike being made in Indonesia, where they have a strong bike culture, right? So accessories, there's no shortage of it. The local bike shops, you can get it also. Shopee, Lazada, whatever part you want to customize whatsoever. The limit is probably your money, your budget lah. and no imagination. Comes the downsides, which there's only a few. So once again, the pricey, brand new 6,500 range without COE. With COE, I think it's 14k as of March 2021. Bit too tall for short people. And 165, I'm tiptoeing a little bit. And top speed isn't that great lah. I tried this bike yesterday. I think I clocked around 100, 110, and the bike already starts to scream already. So yeah, I mean it's a class 2B, so I wouldn't expect it to have a high top speed lah. I think the R15 can go even faster, but then if you want faster, you get a class 2A or class 2 bike lah. Simple. So final verdict it's a great practical all-rounder. You know, good for beginners and seasoned riders alike. Customizable with a wide range of parts and aftermarket accessories, and the Yamaha MT-15 is worthy to be part of the Yamaha MT series. And in my personal opinion, hands down is the best class 2B street fighter / naked bike in the market right now. And I finally understand why the Yamaha MT-15 is a very popular bike amongst class 2B, riders. With that kind of price, you really get what you pay for for this bike. I've already talked too much about this bike. Lots of praises mostly. Very rare coming from me. I try to keep it real on this channel for my bike reviews, but this is the most I've probably put in praise for a bike. I never really praised a bike so much until I rode the MT-15. That's it for the review. Once again, this bike is available on Auto Exchange. You want to test it out or try it, you can call Hadiy in the link below. The promo code has been extended. Say to Hadiy, at the office, I love Fahandre. And you can get a 20% discount on your rental. And thank you Hadiy and gang at Auto Exchange, for letting me review this bike, giving you guys the real review, And that's it for the vlog, and we will see you next one.